You played twice. The name is Halifax and Sa Adu. Nipa papa Osru Nyamepa Me Namedi Ene Juma Chiame Juma Diano, the best entertainment show on OK 101.7 FM. One man producer, one man music director, one man DJ. The name is DJ Toxic. Lenny Eyatralaya Mukoyala Shinegonu Eteshi. Toxic. Banyumi Bium. Take it from the top for me. Ayite by Adana Best.
You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax and Shahadu on OK 101.7 FM. You are welcome to Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax and Shahadu on OK 101.7 FM. Best Entertainment Show with your host Halifax and Shahadu on OK 101.7 FM.
Welcome back one more time to the Best Entertainment Show on OK 101.7 FM. My show, your show, our show. Welcome back from Easter. How was the long break? Were you able to find time to, relax, reflect, rejuvenate, and get, revived by the resurrection of the one and only true Christ? Or you just spend the time boozing and drinking and having good sex? Whatever it is, welcome back. It is the 3rd of April. Hey, so soon we're in April, January, February, March, April. Already 4 months into 2024. Anyway, no need to waste much time. The man himself is seated. Nene Bennett Te Akwaku Numu Kume from Botada and Krobo. A man I used to work under, and I worked under him for many, many years. Also said a Socrates Safu, veteran movie producer. Now helps the Ghana Tourism Authority as the community liaison officer for the Beyond the Year Secretariat. Let me start with the Ada and Krobo man. And I was talking a lot of guy issues today anyway. Man, about Regama Sanjin P. Is there a song like that? Toxic. Oh no, Giono. Oshia Gioshia. Loflon, Efanko, Ekako Wendang. Womane Kroba Yigbe Adam Ashanti Afant. Anyway, none of an attack. Welcome. Yee. How was a long weekend?
Oh, it's cool. I mean, it's one of the weekends. I'm in time. I rested.
Sir, now we rested, dear.
Oh yes, resting in the real sense of the word. It me resty. It's not resty, you.
Okay.
Oh,
David,
but I made one observation.
Observation?
Halifax.
Me,
I mean, I'm beginning to observe, say, who we are here. Or is that, how do I put it? It is when you have life that you have anything to boast about. But if you don't have life, Halifax, that will be whooped. I'm talking me kwako sise.
Oh, kwako sise.
Ejisu.
Oh. Ejisu as an NPP Ejisu constituency.
As at Nra. Yenyan si nipa 11 ene pray juma ne juma no.
Na wo problem.
Wo problem pa.
Say.
Oh, Halifax.
Yay.
Say wa usha. Na adishe enya ne ba bi ko. Onyan ko nyame na afre no asat now.
Okay.
Yenyan fa no koma ni wura. Na ejuma na nka oye a obi ase obo na juma yi no. Yenyan dru be bia nipa 11 so far. Enukra tobe ni koka. Ena mina misefata no.
Ona se
suya baby frame.
Debi omo di share na nyam.
Rather
se papa yi be ye adwuma din o ye adwuma yie. Nti ese ye ntua na adwuma no so.
That's the understanding you get.
Well, that is the way I see it because I mean, he did a very good job and some people say no the legacy no dear say yembuano na enshimu kima na exactama.
So what yes yemprano.
Oh, David. Because Kenny King, there'll be a next MP anyway. Live.
I know.
Goes on.
I know. But I prepare nuna. Mama. I think otherwise. Because so Christopher have very quietly, gently. You want to know, say, a binomo edge, and vini position. When I in your position,
well, but is it?
Yeah, because say Safo you see the number of people who probably have been pushing him out all along and wanting it.
Oh, well, was this not somewhere in the Bible that let the dead bury their dead? I mean, see, look, there have been instances where sitting members of parliament are in media. Even before the funeral, even before the burial, their wives has to have their posters all over town. About this man, they are so
11 the
because safe seats. You only need to bring a candidate and you would win. Into primary, no crab in chain. It's a safe seat. And remember, the candidates they will bring are winning by election. He becomes automatically the candidate for 2024 because I can't see it just to say, look, they'll bring a candidate in, let's say, April, May, June, win election, and then change him in December. And see,
respecting in memory, dear, and the tobe koka no.
They been in Naka politics, no. Would you tobe no free ma? Yo, politics, dear tobe kakra here. Would you free ma? But so far, Obia and Bob Yasom. Obia and Didi Obia 10. Yeah, this I put it to you. Hey, wouldn't me quite Oliver? It's part of the razzmatazz. You know, politics. Some few, I don't the few. Because I wouldn't saw. I'm most stressed to the man himself. So crazy for Nejimano say on rubber beer event organizers. So December being me, I should say Nejimano. Events you know, a bit more occupied. General, more quava.
Major Sumini Halifax.
Boko dear.
Bibia Boko Medasi.
Weekend no call same out.
Oh, weekend no Halifax. Soon I can see and call me, but you won't be the me.
There will be so winning.
Nam sa from Kwau to areas in Tokru near Kum to
and they were yet to
Halifax.
Yeah.
Lunch December in GH
2024
edition. No, your lunch. Repair money beba na yedi hu komo so ma yekwan a nti etu yensa frɛ event organizers a munim sɛ mo event a mo pese mo de ba December yi
nti safo wokra free promo a mema we other platforms are more the same promo ana
no you know
Jemo no Jemo fan kani nyina
nti
say mami na anyway
we dey me da ase sɛ repair mo no ubama me kwan na yaba be di ho nkomo yie pa but kakra metimi aka kire one se ya lunch se wo event bia amanfo etie me mamo ntwen no bia ma meka se ene manti o mpa chow ya start ibo hu da ru no wo event bia go on GTA platform ne so wo ko GTA site a wo be hu bibia wo wa fill forms ni ehun kekan nyina yeah
o feel say obia na onim sa a friend saying GTE site no.
Oh, no, yes. But let me say, form no.
So what is the GTE site? That was what I meant.
Ghana Tourism Authority. www.ghanatourismauthority.com.
Okay.
Bibia wo obenya information ni nyina form ni nyina so da ho na say watimi afere.
Let's do this now. 3, 2, 1. Young Kwe. Ha. Makan. Ekum. Ache. Eko. Enyo. Eten kedre. You can also join us live on Facebook. Okay, 101.7 on Facebook for your comments, questions, suggestions, contributions. What do I have there so far? Baby Sasamwa says, please repeat the song. I believe she's talking about Ayite by Adani Best. Dona Moses, I see you. Good morning to you too. Good morning, Mr. Halifax and your wonderful team. The name is Elizabeth Gazy. Auntie Lizzie, morning. Good morning, everyone. Esther Ahundo. Good morning, ST. I'll get a roller soon, okay? I'll see you, Justice Walker Jr. I see you, the real Emmanuel Atukwe, the Messiah, Poka. Okay. Now let's get us going. Nene. Me trust over the weekend with see the Koba say Obiakwa Koba 12-year-old girl be any here because yes, I was would see. Okay. Any comments so far on this matter? Nene, let's go.
Yeah. Halifax.
Yeah.
First, me tea asem no me who dream me. Me who dream me pa say 63-year-old man. And or the tradition that she akowari a 12-year-old.
Sana would see no.
Sana me tea no sana me king kind. But as time went by, the stories surrounding her age began to change.
Okay.
Even though the circumstances for the marriage remained as it was.
Okay.
From the first time the story broke. And no, and the ma me be na kakra. Story no break here no. I see 12-year-old. I heard Obi or see a spokesperson for the Bobby Wulomo, aka Stephen Akwiti. Speaking on television. Oh, girl, no yet 12 years. On yet 12 years, what is her age? Or see 13?
I heard him too.
Thank you. I see 13. Okay, let's see how it goes. The following day, me tie ni pa front so. Onu po there, it's not about the age, but onu wa jetum ni see no. O se oye ohini wonwa. Now he supported the idea. Now see his excuse is that
enye se osi oye ohini wonwa. Oye nungwa hini.
You thank you. Oye nungwa hini. Means be okika ya me ni wan adwin.
Ona ke wonye menga me eche ni. Amefi ameni.
Okay. But Onusu F1 you see and so. He congratulated the Wulomo and asked saying he went into the books. He read the history of the Ga people and he has come to re-establish what was dying. Now no say. Okay. ebinom criticize say girl no you too young and then see hwehwe 15 16 17 virgin e wo montema anye bia ye benya bia na
I also saw that.
Ye benya bia na
But
and that was where I got worried.
I guess I come out virgins are home.
Jena come virgins are, but because he's using that
as a justification. Okay, I get you.
So you are the custodians of culture, the culture of the people. It is a moment all along. Say it's like the moral standards have been falling over the years, and you still needed virgins for whatever you needed them to do. No, sanka ese mun fa kwan mo be faso na mo keep miensa and 9 and numbi wo mo jurisdiction no, so that when they get to 18 you can use them for whatever you wanted to use them for. But to say esa say you need 13, you need 14, you need 15 virgins biominti no. We are falling on the 12th as a justification. I just say, if it is the 5 years that we can get, we use them. Is that what he's telling me? That's the understanding I got from him. Halifax. Say, for instance, let me just use this as an example. Yehia enam Tikesie Chile for homowo. Nasi yenim say nansan ye call epona yenya enam biomo. I think the best thing to do is not to fall on Kita schoolboys. But you find a way to so that when the time comes, you get the big ones, the Chiles and the rest, for the whatever you want to do. But to shake your responsibility and say well, I think it's not proper for me. You'll be Samia. I don't like that.
Okay. I hear.
But apart from that, actually, a lawyer being so. One also can need what Tikesie show is to. One could be an and once there is no evidence, say, or more have sex, near a month working in our to 2 papas. So now every marriage is consummated by sex. Let me see what? What's your law? What's your law? Who will go into people's bedrooms to know whether married people have had sex to finalize it? And then when one say what tradition demands, we are going certificate. Into the element it says sex in into a young marriage, I'm sorry. He should go and read his books again.
Okay.
Yes, but apart from that, you were in Subekasai or non Sudie. Minister, no.
Young man.
Minister.
Debate me.
Yes. Or no Subekai say, Afnano on yet 12 or she will be 16 somewhere in July. No, so it's what's unnecessary for Sabi to have come out with that statement. Or Kansano or San a committee in the home can say they are still doing investigations. If you are still doing investigation, why do you come out and give out the age that you know? Because you are supposed to speak as a minister only when investigations are concluded. It is an investigation. I now see the girl is almost 16. Now, then you go ahead to say the police are still working on it. Mr. Minister, he should come again. If he's not sure of anything, he shouldn't speak. Developing stories, you leave it for those who have concluded investigations to speak.
Okay. I have a lot of things to say.
Okay.
Let me listen to Secretary's initial, remarks, and then Makanka Kra ma observe na ya bohun komo.
Okay.
General Yango.
Thank you. Munya penny ekanya sasemba ako. Odi na no si no. Or say developing stories there. Yen conclude ananya sa.
Dem no kai.
Okay. Intino
it's also a Kanya system back 15 minutes talking in Nanya system back.
Oh, there be Okanya system beer at all masun.
And I can't the man, not Chicasa,
and be no bitchere.
And I mean, I'm with you. Can you know?
Intino or say developing story, young conclude. Hona no. Intino, a seminal yen ye can ye to your bossy. Na ye conclude asem no ni abenye bi aka.
Okay.
Now we are handling this issue like a mob action, Halifax. When we say mob action, hey Julo, ye pie ye so mo obi onum hu bi kura mpo no ebebo ne bi. Ti metiwa first me bisa say akwara na in case no wedi how many years? Yes, 12 years. Me pa cho when can say wedi 12 years. Yeah, yeah, can say 12 years. Me who 12 years. Me pa cho he fan is 12 years. Halifax, can you help me with any evidence of her age?
Me
who you move.
Okay.
Because me who so be I can say 12 years, but me who be age. Me and Miti Hansi, I don't subscribe to it. Say akwara, ye didn't kwasha wari. No, I don't subscribe to it. Say ye meme ba mempene. Say ye mimi bi amana madam fu bi ba mempene man nye. I'll kick against it. Let's come to the other side. How do we handle this issue? Did they err in doing whatever they did? Crime be no committee ye. Yemfa eno entutu ho na yen discuss it. Senya ye ka sem no me mfuaso, to be honest with you. Mfuaso. I think we are practicing mob action in handling this issue. Me say mfuaso. I don't think say it is right. But senya ye kan no. Yen kan ye. Ni entimi solve asem no ye. Me pacho. You see, betrothed you see, can say a crime. A constitution mo. Me pacho da ben a crime or a constitution mo. We sat down. You see, 1980 something constitution say criminal BBB a part of our laws.
The Children's Act 1998.
1998 a crime. Good. But before then, no, as a people, per our customs and our traditions, were we doing it? Yes or no? That means we have a culture. We have our traditions. Enti ne se obi kita sa tradition ni culture ni mo eba besi na emra ben watu. Emra na watu ne say at 1998 to say you know ye nyina ye ba be kan say ye nyai. Enyema ben ye nyai. Are we being selective in some and leaving some? Because me amiti and saying was it there? Was it there?
They see it you can watch it.
Halifax.
Yes.
Why are we being selective in some of our customs and traditions? That we will agree that betrothing is a crime. I agree. Why should me, so Christopher, I sit down for somebody to come and tell me, say, or no, royal blood, into no no so dihine. Yeah, yes, sir. Laws we know. I didn't say I share non so. Nianka say there be intimate say busuan we mu penny dihine. There be and your rights. See a share non so no. It's against it's your friend saying under our constitution, you see we are all equal. Citizens, we are all equal.
I see. That is why the Buckingham Palace is for everybody, right?
So why are we being selective? I want to push for that too.
We'll come to this your treasonable comments later.
Yes.
Say,
and you know when we are talking about traditions and we are condemning traditions, let's do a thorough investigations into our traditions.
Okay.
Don't let us be selective.
General.
Yes.
Mamembe mna MBA nkomo bon wa.
Okay.
Many we are doing say nene has a long narrative. Don't worry yourself. Many we are doing say nene closing statements no nyansa wom.
Yeah.
Pa.
Yeah.
So because story no, it is still developing no. Omo commentary no, and common to omo boase. Na omunya facts ni ye. Honestly, me so miti asem no me yam shame. But subsequent explanations are banned. It makes me agree with the Esafoka and say, yeah, mob attack be. But any no crane to say, a deliberate attempts be a dig go crime for any mercy. There be. The confusion started from the explanation that came from the guards themselves.
Okay, I agree with you.
The guard and we cancel the statements be bar out. See, and then I would see a narrative. No, I mean, bloggers with the story they buy say no more genche, no more babu, no more shiche. Wakwa worry 12-year-old girl, virgin.
Okay, FM.
Na ebi mu si o ye sen he you. Trese nkonwa hu yiri ebi mu si o de bi na chombe ajebie. There was no certainty. Say bloggers can say you exercise some restraints. Before we could say Jack, traditional council, the Nkrumah Babonson, signed by no mean person than Ni Ayuko to himself. Statements no see enye marriage, a betrothal. Betrothal trese ya mamre bia says akwada no do age bia. Then marriage no bebaso. Other sano buy no. The more confusion by it because Senator Safo Khan so what kind your children's Act 98 Nigeria, it was very specific. I mean kind kakrama. Section 14(1) of the Children's Act 1998 under the heading Right to Refuse Betrothal in Marriage states that follows: no person shall force a child, the emphasis what they say, to to be betrothed, B, to be the subject of a dowry transaction, or C, to be married. In a marriage, a betrothal, a dowry transaction, it is certainly not accepted under law. But this is what the tradition, yes.
But you, I mean, here where the be one you kind. Did you say nobody shall
force a child?
Thank you. I wanted that word, force.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
So we were listening to, betrothal, and then this Sempe 2 comes out. That is a Sempe match. And publicly condemns what the Mungwa people have done. Run a Google search. Sempe Mancha spoke against it. Yakoti, you heard Yakoti, then there is an association of Gadangbe lawyers. Just say Gadangbe for Omwa Swamra. Issue the statement and condemn what has happened. At that point, so for what do you expect others to do?
I agree with you.
Gama lawyer say no na fe musuni.
Yeah.
Ni mancha me akumenjui against no na fe. Ni council like betrothal ni be ni mlaka aka betrothal baking. Get boy njewo. We should blame who?
Alifas.
Yes.
I am enjoying, but knowing you, I am not comfortable again where we are going now.
Safo, go and sit down. Let's go on. People generally fear the things they do not understand. Sometimes I had a boom. People are generally prejudiced towards religious symbols and rituals they do not understand.
Now you can go.
You get what I mean, the people do not understand what happened. Yeah, kind what paper money, on internet, social media CEO, Numbo Bobu 63, wako ware, abayiwaki tuwebi. Instead, say the clarification, explanation, bebano. These are the first responses that came. An association of Guy and Gadangbe lawyers said it is wrong. The traditional council said, a betrothal, brown monim said betrothal, and children's act no peneso.
More so when it was signed by a lawyer,
a former attorney general. Yeah. And then at the same time, so you have some of the Manche men also condemning it. It's helped in the mob attacks on the Nungwa states. I was confused. I didn't know what the truth was. But how can we know the truth when there are no messengers of truth?
Okay.
in the absence of clarity, there is always confusion, speculation, and suspicion. I believe you've heard me say, if there is no clarity, obiabe kanu sena.
Okay.
Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it was an international media, foreign Obiakika. So there was now pressure on Ghana. It's true. Obia Ghana 12-year-old child's marriage. So minus Kenya ni kakra. And omoko ji akwadano. So more rescue to protect her.
Rescue from who?
Well, say reports were out no say a child has been married to an adult. The child needs to be rescued and sent to social welfare. Because at that point the child is a victim, according to the reports about Safo Enra Office of the Babu Wulomo, friends and Trofo. So what's your explanation is here? You would ask yourself, almost if I mean, what exactly is the issue? Almost see number one. Abayiwe Obia Warin man Nipibia. Dear see no enye exchange of dowry, enye betrothal, enye marriage, eye traditional rights bia omuyeye for the Gbobu deity. The Gbobu deity is not the same as the Gbobu Wulomo. I don't know how to explain this in
I get you.
Maybe I still obin tiasi.
Okay.
Gbobu deity no. A sacred shrine. To say pusum fie. Na obin do mo condition no mo brebre. So the oshe sa deity no so no. Another custodian, the inhabitant of that deity, he is the Wulomo. English would call him, should I call him a traditional pontiff or pope?
Yeah, it's even Wulomo is in the Bible. Israel had Wulomo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's more of a traditional pontiff.
Yeah.
They are different from the Waje.
Yeah.
And as I was telling you the other time, actually, Wulomo more wrong. Wulomo is Waje ni himos.
Yeah.
But I mean that is a different matter.
Because Akomo NC Wulomo. Yeah.
You get what I mean? Why did they have to do any special rites for a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old or any young girl for a particular deity? They explain as follows. So that deity, no, the Gbobu deity, no, enya numo Gbobu, enya shinche deity, no, amamre bi wo ho a eso munyema sa deity, no, na sa amamre no, it is one, virgins who do it. Two, enye humans na select say edu wo so koye. Almost see a mystical and supernatural selection. Date na be point to say, oh, I think this person qualifies. I think that person qualifies. Say nipa no na busuafo na wofo peninsula, good deal. We are good to go. Na almost treasure must say edwuma sa nipa no be yama date ni nyina no, it does not include sex whatsoever. It does not include cooking, washing of plates, doing what married people do. It doesn't even include staying at the shrine. Nah, it will more about ho. Now about the jari dates no. Almost see omo pause be wo dido kuku egbeko. Now we're saying so ediagum. Edu homowa fascia. Then she comes and play another role. And in any case, she started doing this thing when she was 8. She is now 16. Unless human rights for arguments, then say a child should not be involved in traditional rituals.
From which part of the law?
I don't know. If that is the argument, then we'll listen to them. But apart from that, I don't see how the Babu Wulomo, Numo Babu, should be sent through this humiliation. So for grab my paper today. Papa no onye ne performs how?
Yes.
A very educated man. Me kind profile no, I was surprised. He has traveled across several countries in pursuit of education. At a point, nearly became NDC regional secretary. A politician par excellence. From the days of the CDRs through the KDS national mobilization, and will be over Nimdie. So what see any for interns before he became the or couple of crunching or Kanyasasem. But because of the current position, on to me can ask him. And you'll be near say honestly the AC no man. But so I asked myself, how come a video taken by some bloggers put on social media omwa obo omwa mu age ama akwadano omwa po omwa mu caption say eye awade ama akwadano omo hu say ebi mu ka won kran kasa mu oh kan jwe bi na ba ka shin boya ka shin ga jwe mu ni wa rayo
because per the event that is going on it's like the spirit is going to marry. Yes.
You get what I mean? And then they say, oh, then that is marriage. Then because the numo babu shiche. Ono no share dating no so no. Then the new say, ono no akwa wari akwadano. Then off we go. Then it becomes a whole issue.
Pacho, ye waria oba fie ni ekwa waria na be ma ni fie ni ekwa wari.
Wo minim ada amamre ba nkranfo amamre no ye ware ye ko oba no fie
ba we enjo oba no fie no
de bia bagbabu na. So what is my point? When people do not understand certain things, they shouldn't be in a hurry to comment on it. Especially when omo commentary no people will take it as gospel. I insist without any fear. The statements from the council say a betrothal. The statements from Minsimpi and the statements from the Ga Adangbe Association of Lawyers is what fueled the confusion. Until the office of the Gbobuwolo Sankasa, and administrator is a very fine man, Reverend Dr. Daniel J.C. Ankra.
A reverend.
He belongs to the I saw no from Lawrence Teta, sorry, no. Dr. Lawrence Teta will crusade be around the world. Yes. He's a pastor in that.
So this pastor, Reverend Okanye, when he said in the Bible, Mary was betrothed to Joseph. While she was a virgin.
We'll come to that virginity and betrothal matter as others are trying to explain. And then Omut explain it further. Say ye kasa na yomo the 16-year-old girl enyo no pe no ye ojiri magbabu deity no. There are other wives of the deity right there with them and mention their name. In fact, some of them were at the press conference. Numo Babu doesn't sleep with them. Why do I feel hurt? Safo kenene JBM batani nka akeshi mokomoko rules and they have we. Call back went to a station. No bad rules, Sandy. But people took me. People took my statement in a very wrong way. Now, Sana gas states not say no. Even amongst with the gas, and ya memory na obiatiasie. A rajoke was say obi free la, ana gamashi, ana simpi. Nensu adi abekosu watema. Ananu one until you nasi 100%. Obanya a fair idea. I come from a theocratic traditional setup la. And me nuwa mamre no set nesu enyepe.
That means there are difference in all.
Exactly. So you need to be schooled on it. You need to be told what exactly it is. But you see, if it involves a woman or a child, we get carried away. Once upon a time, we see, oh, Ebimu took one, was it Tamale or Navrongo somewhere in the city Jutombas. Say, girl, we were friend with Amina, a minor, but got 2 shell so. And now, you knew be a die rough. And now, ye massa girl no crap upon any diaby. So crazy, nene, because or ye oba minor, we all got agitated.
She wasn't a minor. Amina was not a minor.
Was there even any Amina who was raped by the father in the first place?
Amina.
And the father raped Amina. So that was what happened. Yet see age, you know. And for the fact say obia wano. Yahoo pictures any videos now a pure misunderstanding of what happened. Yay! And then of course as a state. So biasi na gbobu wulo makwa wari obi den na mu ye state had to move in. It is sad. Very, very, very sad. And Gwasie atem didie ahoroba omudi abre papa no. It cannot be repaired. I don't know how ombeko bia fie to fie. Oh debi o papa no on worry akwada no. The me ya no kranya Saturday na na ehia. It started about 1 week ago. But where I climax no. Just to symbolize a spiritual ritual no. And every bia so bia mbehwe bi. This is what has brought the whole confusion. Why this particular girl? And we explain and say, on what the circumstances of her birth and a relationship with the shrine makes her the most suitable candidate as now you move to serve that Babu deity.
Wow.
Yes. Say on one mame baho. The country must say, I've been pregnant for some 2 years.
Wow.
Yes, akwada number. Omu year 1 or 2. Akwada no buy. So at the age of 2 years, she came back and said, look, my daughter is not crawling. She's not walking and she's 2 years. And also, according to them that same day. So for these are elderly men who are talking. I don't see why they should lie, including a reverend father. Sorry, a reverend doctor. And they've been with this girl from day one. Because someone himself, this is the job she's going to do. She's a queen. And they are grooming her for that particular deity. So look, as a virgin, when you are of age, and I would do baby, I say, wow, I say, won't warrior. Kowari? Yebeya mamre biamao. To remove you from that position. Now, won't worry, obia, I say, won't worry, except one person, the Babu. The best man worry obia open, but not the Wolomo himself.
Wow.
In Sheshewe now want to say I wonder why people will think a group of
what
adults.
took them so long for this, Halifax?
I wonder why people will think a group of adults, you know. Anyway. What took them so long?
Yes.
What also took those who started doing the arrests? What prevented them from going to say for proper clarification? Say, no more. We know you from the days of Heart of Oak before you became Babu Wulomo. You see why I say, what are the issues? No, beyond church. What also took them from seeking proper clarification and education before storming a man's royal palace, snatching their queen, someone called social welfare?
Wow.
When did a society that ben who say children's rights we hear say? Because I have to walk on the streets. I see children younger than 6, younger than 12, crisscrossing anytime we are driving. Why this particular one?
And if I don't go on the streets,
public media agitation, frenzy, and I push you without getting proper education of what the issues are.
And if I don't go on the streets, go to the shrine again. By age of 7,
Baby,
do they have rights?
Well,
so child rights, I applaud you, say, more fighting for sa akwara way. But I also want to point you to Nkwaransoa, omoye wulomo bebre, omo shrine ho, omoye wulomo emema, enyema, ya form wulomo, so do they have rights in Nkwarano? Is it their choice? Are their rights not being curtailed for being in schools? You can say as well.
Exactly. And I'm explaining say even the school the girl attends will be him. So they are called her certain privileges. Of course, school I name the driver no. Ya bafi ya name the no bafi. Nikrega kre woman say on dear God to say a normal child. I'm more restricting her down for them because of the type of grooming and training we are giving her. So I think it boils down to the same thing. Lack of education, frenzy, public euphoria, and that is where we are today. Besine, son of Besamus, why in the country must say 12? Why in the Akye? and then we start shouting.
Okay, FM.
Akye means so you started to talk and issue statements, and when you have no proper 100% information on what exactly transpired, now here we are. It's not about there are no virgins.
Sometimes we need the right people to give the right explanations to issues. Now, Wamuan Kasa, Babulomo office, no. Wamuan Kasa, no, Omuan explanation number ye.
I want a man ban 10.
A man tem and a amber years from beginning, no.
Because me, no. Hold on. This is the first time
Hold
I'm
on. Hold on. Explanation now make no signal. Halifax, poster no. Poster bina echo round no. Who share picture no between the Bobby Wulomo Numbo and the young lady.
Now you
if you are not a gun, even if you are a gun, the first signal you will get is that it is a marriage between the two.
Well,
that's the first signal. So the signal is wrong. Poster now mudi bar out no. So be the word marriage. It will sell like anything. So they shouldn't have done it that way.
But me pacho.
Secondly, no. In the course of explanation and changing from one step to the other, some of them say a marriage, but it's a marriage to the deity. So there was a marriage. That's what they are saying. So it's not a marriage to the Bobby Wulomo, but it's something they did to the deity. So the relationship is between the girl and the spirit. And the spirit. Is it a marriage? Why are they using the word marriage in the course of their explanations? You can't fault the state too much for going into the issue.
Of course. It's the public frenzy and the explanation.
Because if you look at the pomp and pageantry that followed this particular ritual, have lived here long enough. But it's like this one is one out of the number. The previous ones, ABIBC last 3 years, we don't know. ABIBC last 7 years, we don't know. But this one looks like one out of the ordinary. So we looked at it so huge.
Okay.
We looked at it in a very huge manner.
You know where I differ with you.
Okay.
The okay, no, 100%.
Okay.
Because communication is key. Inti say ebimuti chobam, and people are speculating on social media.
Okay,
I wouldn't blame them too much, but before certain key people would move into action, please, they can't rely on the poster. They can't rely on social media gossip because they are key people. As for Akikakeka on social media, virgin set and we can ignore these comments. But when key people, a whole association of Gadangelo, book epenya kase ya suku atwonya kusumla
amemla mewie she amele kusum koka mele kusum. I agree with you because
amelemla kase dano ba manokwe ya kase ni enindang
they are Gadangwe lawyers, so they are talking pure law. They know very little about culture. I'm not defending them.
And anyways, okay, and they didn't decide, and they thought seeking knowledge is not necessary. Or they think when they go to the office of the Bobo Wulomo, there are no barristers, advocates, solicitors, lawyers.
For somebody like me, for somebody who is distanced from Gag traditions and culture, for instance, on the first impression of Benyani say, at the NSC, is between the Wulomo, the Numbo, and the Yombo, because you were saying be I be customer.
And I was here.
You see, Jotokunu.
Jokunu.
When the fetish priest smiles, it is the fetish that have smiled.
Okay.
So if you want the fetish to smile, make the fetish priest happy.
Manu Ming.
Once he is satisfied in his smiling, it is the gods who are smiling. So when you send me such a picture and you tell me, say, oh, a year, date in new area.
When I send you, or when I, do you know that Saturday program, no, or more your invitation?
Okay.
And the invitation letter explain what they were going to do. In the say, what about the family poster? And the Google interpretation at Tusua. Who blame me? Say, na me poster.
I mean, no. Nobody is saying. That's why I say communication as similar. Who can you or sa area ho? Yen communication any signal so no. Enko ye so that obi enko twin obi anako si boni o seden. Uti asiye. For me, that's a year alone. Any layman can think anything. So next time they can do themselves a lot of good by avoiding such posters. Because say I don't know, say Obano ye deity no dia. At the end of the day, anything that belongs to the deity, no, the person who oversees the affairs of the deity is seen as the one in charge. When we are making jokunu, when you make the to make the deity happy, the one overseeing the deity, no, must be made happy. You see the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know complex.
Complex.
But it's good. It's good. Say we are discussing this.
The other wives, no, play different roles.
Okay.
Roles no be what enye or say a virgin and say onye. Ebi musu wo ho a eno de yo say it will be a virgin. Money was on Andrew image and out now we among right and German as a virgin number fear. And as I will insinuate and say ni other deity wives or no and also no babuni omuda. One of them is 80-year-old.
Okay.
Why is that? And we didn't say that man 63 marries old woman 80. Some of them are married to other men in the same Nongwa community.
Yes. Adi became so loud because girl no Akye minor. He says oh yumbo.
Well, but she's still a minor. And now yumbo she's still
no problem no one. So for me, one of the solutions they may say, let us groom virgins. Let's keep them in a certain number, acceptable numbers.
Nana, please educate my listeners on how to groom and keep virgins. We want to know.
How to groom
and keep virgins
Halifax.
In 2024.
In 2024.
That's right.
Halifax.
Comes in. Of my good lessons since he trying to hear my
anything that tradition demands, you know. Tradition.
Oh, yati ni nasi. Yati. Dear yenti no say how do we groom and keep mature virgins in 2024? Lesson note. Obi antwe le pen. Number 1.
Keeping and insisting on high moral standards within that community. It can come from parents. It can come from those in charge of traditional authority.
No. Where the nene. Where the work general.
General, yes.
Baby, and them you see your initial statements before you started this one. Okay, this second one you said. So let us groom and keep virgins.
Yes.
Before that, you have said, oh, let's look for some 4 or 5 virgins and keep them for this.
A number.
And it's how 4 or 5 for now.
I am eating into Nungwa Manchenuka yeno. Say, you better your virgins when anybody from 15, 16, 17.
Or say 9. Okay, 9. Akomo if no go find a flash. Any akomo. I can show
virgins at all costs.
Remember, and what kind of work is in near Jena Como? Como mo is charmo. Go akomo here.
Why we are calling
Oh, no, No, Safo, don't build a man. I have some 20 minutes. I will give you time. He's teaching us 7 steps on how to keep
okay. You can't 7 steps. No.
Crime number 1.
You see, when you are talking about tradition, you don't throw your hands in despair. And yet, obi na betreu how to look for young ones, keep them. We are not saying you should keep them in a room. I'm not saying you should lock them in a room. No. But what I'm saying is that you monitor them, you teach them, the traditions of the area.
Enye no na yachi obi. Ye monitor no. The queen mothers are the one keeping the girl.
Ansa na munya sure say nipa mo bechi no obeye adult so that this coca about
1 minute 22 down. You can
18.
No me akomo ye fe no me ma je you.
18 na komoku alemoku pu.
Let me read a few comments and I'll open my phone line. Don't mind the name. I can't. Sure. There is a gentleman, Henry D.C. journalist, says, I can keep the virgins and groom them for the tradition. Charles Young is just laughing. If you have any idea on how to groom and keep virgins, just text to us. Let's read for you. I'm watching you live from Domi Pilatu with Chairman Asamoah of Domi Pilatu. Chairman, we greet you. Grooming virgins in Nwa. Boy, Esther Ahondo. Challenge Nwa pages and Well spoken, Halifax. My name is Esther. Great submissions. Thanks to Halifax for the clarification. That is Elizabeth Gazy. Hey, Ghana. Marilyn Carter says, good morning. I love your explanations from Dona. So why didn't those girls mommy marry the 63-year-old man? Yes, I believe after the explanation you understand better now. No need for me to respond to that. And see, grooming and keeping virgins pen because that is what a lot of my messages are saying. How to groom and keep virgins. But Safo Nefri National Commission on Culture. Safo, in our culture, non-virgins should not have sex. Virgins who are not married should not have sex. So what does non-married people should not have sex?
But in the first place, I am not an expert on culture. I mean, study Ghanaian culture. Me Juma Ewo Commission on Culture as Director for Creative Arts.
Okay,
so let me say me an authority, say knowledge be a makusunya.
You don't need to be an authority on culture to know that. Sewon warrior. It's an common. Send a number.
Me a hammy was deal with mono.
That be a try common more. How can we go not buy a common more?
Bakakre hammy say, ye ye.
Na.
Niam say ya mamre. What must ye? To the point say ene Nkrumah say omudi o mama mremti. Me a moyen se me enye de krampo yeti me challenge you omo. What must ye? And I dear have me. E bi ne ekoso you. Hwe enye se meti han say support in any way say yenkofa kwara kitu bi. Ni yenko ware ne mapeni to send you be a can. I don't support it. If that is what actually happens, I don't support it. But my call is the way we are attacking our culture. To the point that today, as I'm talking to you now, in Nkrumah bedio mamamre, me say, me and we can challenge them. Anything about culture is being attacked. Let's pay attention to this thing. It looks like we are using modernity to rubbish culture. It will take time and bedroom by no. Yebekasa Hindi Krampo no. Will be our rights according to our constitution. Universal rights. Into no how come say we there so ding Yebedru ho. And because we mo ne yetimi fan kwara ketwa 7 years. You see a 7-year-old boy. How you mo? We will attack that one too. I'm calling. My only concern is attack on our culture.
Somebody sends a message, a very important one. I believe the name is Shulamite Asamoah. Hey, woman, Shulamite says say. She's saying so. Halifax and Sando. What about the things the MC said during the event? Okay, be I'll be in see the Shulamite patch and I see events no juye no. And buy you no back of our mic. And what I say on can say now you more on my memory na mano no. Sa na jono say ya on share 90. On share 90 yes see through. Na on share what is perfume?
Lavender.
Lavender in tree. Safo boy. What is perfume in tree? Shulamite, it also worried me until I listened to Reverend Dr. Daniel Ninjesi Ankra, Oya Director of Administration at the Office of the Bobustuno. Or explaining here, say, ceremony Nankasa, the MC wasn't the woman. Or a woman. Now, oh yeah, MC no. This woman or grab a mic, adding how do I flavor, drama, humor, and what they count. That was the part that was captured. And I would say, or see 12-year-old girl. Is he a
12-year-old girl?
She's 16. Well, I must say 16-year-old girl.
She's 16.
And yes, 16
almost presenting the birth certificates.
And I'm saying, even if it is 16 crown,
it's still a minor.
Age, me, I am only protecting or I'm only concerned about the tradition, any culture, custom na say attacking.
Now non so patress custom say and church muzie na obianti asie on be attack.
Okay.
Because na obia feel say sebi papa no na wawari oba no. That is their problem. If most of the say on worry no about on daching cramp, I know so your problem. And since I'm trying to say obia worry obia ma be ma bia. I think there'll be a bit more tolerance and more acceptable. So and say it's just boils down to
Halifax. Another tradition. Same manche. I no be can we in one. Sorry, that's wrong statement. Mumbi enhwe no chine bi no. Sempe fon so yo mo tradition bia
na obi nti ase na kwa chi omo no
wa ba be churo gu ene social media aba no
se eba no sa
e be ka se ekum odwan a animal right
se eba no sa. Then it reminds me of what the man said in the book we all read. That when they came for the Romans,
yes,
the Greeks and the Jews were quiet because they said they were not Romans.
Yes.
And then they came for the Jews.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the Greeks also didn't defend them because they said they were not Jews. When they finally came for the Jews, there was nobody to talk for them.
Exactly.
Infinisia. Toxic. Lala Eta. African Unity Empowerment. I've read your message. Let me read the first part, but the second part could be inflammatory, so let me just ignore that. Oh, see, it is ignorance to attack our own culture. Is this different from, Okada, Zambia? I think it could be inflammatory. Can we just avoid this in some of these times?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Pacha, what in this and we're free.
I saw my entitled to be precise.
Ansika.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Okay, video. Maybe not I feel you in me. Come on, Bena Baba Fini and Papa, maybe not a bar. Nako not a bar. We bona word near him. 1 year, one fairness. It doesn't look any customary something to me. And they mentioned the man's name, Numbo, Babu, whatever. No. After they are marrying the girl to him. It was the Antonio Glan. I was like, studying no Kunaka, about 10 men, if I buy public Makan look. It was saying, Kofor criticize here, one or my yes. Because then, did you alone no cram pono? So, your parents are, you get bored. And
okay.
Indeed, this Sikani be in a baby Bamate, young fanning her customary. I just say, you're making a fool. Maybe I don't know. I'm not in support. Yeah.
Okay, Antika, thanks for your comments. Do we have another caller on the line? Line 2. Hello?
Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
Please, my name is Ken Faisal.
King Faisal.
Yeah.
Please share your thoughts and let's go. Oh, brim.
Oh, sir, the Esinu, a culture. But Yansha ye pana, ye bet giant some of the apple and 9. Because young Warden said, no, check them to say they do small boys and girls when you are wanting low. A culture naba. Even say a me back. Oh, say, and coffee be a move, and yes, you be an obetna for you, but I know a fat and a L fee be assuming like New University. My family said, we got it in it. So, Minko, guys couldn't got in it. My guys couldn't got in it. So, we might understand there about the own person move that Western, almost culture, the back Ghana, you bet say Ghana. Gay way. Young for one day, what I say, young Yanukura, human rights, that Antonio General, no can defend the matter. In there, who got town, school girls, and kitchen, Omunum, extra phones, cashier, 16 years, 13 years, they give birth, they born, they carry children in their back. What do you do for the gender woman? Where are they home? I'm away, quite your farm.
Faisal, I have another caller. I'm patch within the same with referee.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Nara.
Halifax, your friend and I did.
Na dede ubangon natural.
Ofane me weekend Jabeka.
Abeka. Fami mo wotwi yenko.
One. If you like a man fair man ke kusun. E wa menu ishi. Koni wie mo ame fusel. E ja ke copy asante ma me ame kusun I expose ile neke. Akye ba wa me fair amena. Ame here oblaye ni fufo mamono ye jen.
Fufo ye no na egbesi mamono ni kwada be nefi atmana ka afa me ochinsi na.
Shaka me to aje amepo. Mama me na. Ti wo ga me won po he mama chu. E wo amelewie mo man fe man ke kusum.
Nakai.
E wo nya yuradon.
Yo na dede bo hu owuradon. Do I have another caller? Okay, line 2. Hello, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Sir, good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
My name is Peter Banini from Salabadi Estate.
Yeah, listening, sir.
Yes, but I think I'll speak the guy in the English at the same time.
Feel free.
All right, and possibly fancy too. Sir, with all due respect, I don't know, I may sound a little bit odd, but please forgive me. Journalism. Do people really understand what journalism is? You see, I don't know how to put it. Came up with journalists in your name. With all due respect. Yeah, in your journalism school, she at least have read a little bit about journalism. Okay, you cross, double check, be sure of all the angles. But funny, okay, social media, whether you like it or not, social media has come to stay.
It's a new media.
No problem. But funny, a GDC, on Cassini Schlau. Come on. I go on your outside, do your favorite bluff for whatever. She can't cross Nakalane to boot the GBC line. You go by the culture of GBC about Grumbo.
True.
Drunk about Billy knowledge, no can chombo.
True.
It won't call back when money touches ordinary person, Johnny. But money must take issues, must spread me out. Although when man understand lay, Mokona Grumle, not trained as journalist. It's more different.
Oh, the guy was making some brilliant summation. Voucher, your line, telco for a stream, managing us to ye my. But Mong Banoko, fine. Do you have another caller? My callers are finished. Oh. 3 minutes. Do I announce this line again? No. Let's go move on. The first caller was saying, Sawushe, video na. Sena omuye no and no so akosi problem bebre into your no on the explanation nundi. Well, opinions are opinions, facts are facts. It's still developing. Let's get to the bottom of it and let's see. But say so far Obian to me improve say the girl even stays at the shrine until eke wo nyemeni yo na tosile na trole na jin le yasuko pelole kale alo kele ba obi an to me improve say no mo gbobu ni akwada no ye bribisa. I think the onus lies on those who are alleging to prove, and not those who are being accused to come and prove their innocence. He who alleges must prove. But I also agree with one of the callers no say nyanya fi ono kota woni e sole ni ni afi he ke hu fortune. But maybe Reverend Daniel ni JC Nkrumah, Director of Administration or Church mo say sa ade amu ye ni nyina no ye de ko che oba no enye say ye de ko jehunu ho awade ama obi say ye de che there are gifts to the new queen na yomo. No explain further no so say the deity doesn't come in form of a man, so the question of the deity must stand to represent. But enye someone warren no amano. One caller spoke about culture. Yeah, maintain exactly. I have 1 minute. So for Bremen and then Bremen.
Who come about modernity Halifax? And na say sa enime yenhwe ni ye. Unim say enkan no kolena no. Ye bedi homo wa. Ye de akomfo a o makosua akom eba.
Makameba.
Kolena no on bedi be 7 days so say eyi wo ho. Ansa no ma bakromu. Last year enemy hu so mo ye bi. I was shocked. Say ene akom omoba na de bello. Eye dan ebre ene ye dan emom no matene mu. This year no me hu say light. Disco light near eye colors no. Ashishe mu nyina me bi say what is happening here? And so me kai say enti ade na ne eye no mo so bobo kitu bi no mo hye ho no. Enu nie enti modernity na say ye ne eme. Yenhwe ni ye afi de na ye poster.
Anyway, Nene.
Yeah, Ali.
How come your mic decided to? Okay, fine, we go now. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, what church I'm having a different understanding of the whole development
whole
now. Minyaya anka senya mikaye no yemfa kwa mbiso na yengrumu so that bigger ones will come. Wonderful hadith and no bila kwanza. Or a journalist or graphic. Also on the lighter side, you know. Or see, it be like say our gods too, they love virgins too much.
Okay, Benny Odupa many mango achue.
Yeah, somebody told me one day that so whilst the old men are waiting for the mango to ripe before they pluck and eat, the young ones are plucking the unripe mangoes and eating them with table salt. We would like to emphasize that there is no carnal relationship or marriage involved as perceived by many. For the record, the other wife to the same Babu deity have their respective legal husbands. Nye mean launa. Because can kweni bi na make fame esa ni kwa ajue kwa han. Sin incha do ansa na etwen sewo. Aso wulo mo na etwen sewo. Nyata wa agbalo ina ajue yasa na hanye. It is possible to get a narrative right with the right people who have the right knowledge. As media people too, as a caller from South Labadi Estate said, please let us cross-check, double-check, and be sure before we publish such things. I feel sorry for Numbo Babu. Chalashi Numbo here. You'll find it. Keki wonu. Kemifuna ka wush na penyoko no vienoko numbo nachi. Shia mohanu onu. On that light and my name is Halifax and Sad on the Papa Post Runyamepa. And fellow Uzadi. I cross over to Peace 104.3 for the midday news. Then DJ Toxic would hold on till Abeku takes over. Thanks to my production team, David Pablo, DJ Toxic, and Benjamin Kumson. My two panel members, Socrates Alfo and Nana Benete Akwako, thanks for everybody who sent a text or bothered to call to make a contribution. May God bless you. I'm out of here.
I could tell what about